We're going to talk about TV shows and movies.
Yes.
I'm going to give you two choices.
Okay.
One of which will be remembered forever, one of which will be erased from existence.
Great.
What do you pick? You ready?
Yes.
Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad? One is
Oh, no, that's Sophie's choice. That's horrible.
Exactly.
So one you can keep, one is erased from existence. Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad?
I have to keep Breaking Bad. I'm sorry, Peter. It was a trick question. There is no winning this. I live for Game of Thrones, but I've seen Breaking Bad all the way through. Who knows? Maybe Game of Thrones becomes, there aren't even books to write the show off of, so maybe it just doesn't work.
You're not
It's a horrible, what a horrible thing to do to me.
You're not going to like the next ones. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Now you're just being a prick, man.
I know. It's coming. You have no idea what's coming.
You got to keep Star Wars. I mean, you could lose some of the prequel stuff, but you got to, as canon, you got to keep Star Wars.
Okay. The Wire or Mad Men?
You know, this is sacrilege. I've never seen The Wire. Is that crazy?
You should probably watch it.
I know. It's on my to-do list. I swear.
Sure.
I really want to see it.
So you're ditching it. So it's Mad Men.
But I've seen every episode of Mad Men, so I have to say Mad Men.
The Godfather, first movie, or Goodfellas?
Godfather.
No.
No question. Come on. Goodfellas doesn't exist without Godfather.
That is all. It's a very valid point. Tron or Frozen?
Or Tron Legacy?
No. Tron or Frozen?
Well, I think I have to answer Frozen, although I have a very fond place in my heart for Jeff Bridges and the world of Tron.
Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Indy all the way. Come on, my Twitter account is the chubby Indiana Jones.
I'm throwing it out there.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, perfect film.
It is actually.
Then again, so is Empire Strikes Back. But
yes.
It's still, I have to go with Raiders.
Worst job you had before acting?
Worst job before I had acting. I worked as an ad guy. I actually worked in like ad sales, and I was the guy who like came up with like some pitches and stuff, and I was terrible at it.
Which makes you a great writer.
Yes, apparently that was my training ground.
Last CD you listened to in full?
CD?
Or album?
Album in full?
Yeah, last
Imagine Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah, their new album.
I've heard that from other people. And
it's great.
We've talked about you have a dog. Best advice you ever got?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I like putting people on the spot with things you're not used to.
No, that's a really good question. Best advice I ever got. It would probably be, as cliche and stupid as it sounds, my mom. I was going to give up and go to law school about 3 years out of college, and my mother basically told me that she was disappointed in me. You would think a Jewish mother would be like thrilled to hear that. And she said, you know, you spent an entire life dreaming of this career, and yet you've only given 3 years toward achieving that dream. And that was a great piece of advice. Along the way, though, I've really had brilliant mentors. Jon Stewart was like a masterclass in comedy. Trey and Matt. I've picked up brilliant pieces of advice from everybody. But I gotta give a shout out to my mama, who watches Collider videos religiously.
Sure. Well, she will now.
Now she will.
Exactly. Hidden talents.
Can you do that?
Not even a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I would.
And you should see what I can do with some other bodies.
I've heard the voice.
Yeah.
It's not bad. First movie or TV crush?
Oh, Punky Brewster.
Ooh.
Yeah. Soleil Moon Frye. Ooh. She was my first TV. I probably shouldn't say this because I'm about to work with Kevin Kline, but Phoebe Cates was my first movie crush.
Well, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I think that's
Even Gremlins.
that too, but I think Fast Times had a religious experience on a lot of people.
Yeah, it was definitely for me.
Favorite Disney prince, princess, or villain? And you can't name a character you.
Do I need to do favorite prince, princess, and villain, or one?
Oh, just one. If you have one that's.
Baloo. He's not a prince. He's a prince for me. My favorite prince or princess. You know, I gotta say, you know who's pretty cool?
Villain.
Or villain? Ursula. Ursula's pretty badass.
She does take the voice.
She does. Who takes it? That's a pretty sadistic thing to do. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna take your voice because you sing beautiful ballads.
Right.
Like, that's a pretty sick thing to do to a woman.
That was also the beginning of the streak of.
Second golden age of Disney animation.
It is. That was the beginning of the role.
Crazy.
Yeah. Can't miss TV show.
Right now?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. You let me win that one back. You let me win that one back. I also just got into a show called The Fall with Gillian Anderson.
Oh, I've
Pretty
heard.
brilliant.
I've heard that is.
Unbelievable.
I heard that's quite good, and they have a new season that just got announced.
Yes. Great show.
With 50 Shades.
With the 50 Shades, Jamie
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to say.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one.
Right, exactly. I could say the name, but I choose not to.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to say thank you for giving me 6 hours of your time. It was fantastic.
Stephen, there are so many other places I would rather be right now, but I'm going to tell you this. There's nobody else I would rather be with.
I appreciate that. Are you going to Comic-Con this summer?
It's none of your goddamn business.
I'll leave it there and say, seriously though, I really hope a lot of people tune in for comedians.
Thank you so much.
And especially, it does get better as it goes. It's really funny.
Always appreciate your honesty and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.